Yeah, ran out of storage space again that time. Anyway, so, well, welcome back. So yeah, Chris has been, traumatized by Lucario's, fucking horrific murder of the 6 crocodiles who were trying to attack them. I got the right, I think I've got the right music to accompany. Screw the soundtrack, this is the music that should be played in accompaniment. So, let me just, where was I? Now I know why you guys didn't like to throw him at the baddies, Ness muttered, his state of mind far more stable than the others. He practically beheads monsters in a single blow. But he went too far this time around, Juff said. It wasn't enough to take their lives away. He still kept on beating their dead bodies and taking their... Juff! Paulie yelled loudly, seeing Chris shivering much more. Stop bringing that up in great detail. He can't take it any more than that. The traumatized boy kept shivering as he recalled the bloodshed a few minutes ago. Lucario had lost it when Chris screamed for help, turning him into a mindless beast bent on pulverizing all enemies in sight just for the sake of keeping his trainer safe. This had shocked him very much so, as he had hardly reacted so violently in the past. He had only done so twice, the first time when he abhorred the idea of being Chris's Pokemon, and the second when he did go too far on a living person, a thief, who nearly killed the defenseless teen. And also when he killed the caveman. I hope you guys have not forgotten about that. Lucario admitted he nearly repeated the same misdeed again without considering the consequences thoroughly, and seeing Chris acting like an empty shell gave him nightmares. At the end of it, Lucario cleaned his blood-stained hands in the nearby river when he came to his senses too late. Chris! Lucario muttered, trying to snap his trainer out from his shock. It's over. Okay, that's probably enough of that. I don't want this video to get taken down for copyright infringement. It's Samuel Barber Adagio for strings. Please don't sue me. It's from Platoon and stuff. Fuck, I clicked on the... No, that's not what I want. It's funny though. It's over now. Trying to snap... Yeah, Chris, Lucario muttered, trying to snap his trainer out from his shock. It's over now. You don't have to be like this. It was hard for him to justify his actions without coming up with a good plan. Blood, Chris uttered out. Blood. Too much blood. Juff grimaced. That's odd. How come he is in shock now? He asked as he thought back on the previous encounters they had in Winters. He never reacted so negatively before, so why is he... I think... It made him remember an event in the past, Lucario said as he turned to the children. Oh man, Chris is a dark fucking past, is he? He's Shadow the Hedgehog, you know. He's got a dark and mysterious, troubled past that he's trying to move away from. And Lucario, he needed him to help him escape, but now all he's doing is reminding him of that. I think it made him remember an event in the past, Lucario said as he turned to the children, sensing waves of utter fear coming from Chris's aura. This wasn't the first time he ever saw too much blood on a rare occasion. In a rare occasion... Whatever. What do you mean? Ness asked. Was there really another time when he got like this? Lucario told Ness to cover Chris's ears. Okay. Okay? Sorry. Ness went over to Chris and covered his ears. So this happened before? Sadly, yes. And it was caused by me, too, Lucario ashamedly admitted, making the children gasp. One night at our home, a thief got into the house and threatened to hurt Chris while he was going to the bathroom. I was waiting for him in our room, but then my aura picked up the thief's red aura, and so I sprung into action and went to confront the thief. I went too late, however, because he had gotten a hold of Chris with a knife and... He closed his eyes and grunted. There was so much going on back then. I grew furious with anger, and I found out that I had torn that thief into pieces by the end of it, and Chris was down on the floor, his eyes frozen, and he was a wreck. He refused to... fuck, this... So the bond of aura was also incredibly gruesome. That's okay. I thought that was just kind of like they have fun at home or whatever. I didn't realize it was gonna be fucking blood and guts as well. Shit. Okay. Well, okay then. That certainly altered my perceptions of Aura Channel Chris, that he can make a fucking fish out of water comedy into a into a bloodbath. Okay. Yeah, so he tore the thief into pieces and he was a wreck. He refused to get so close to the mess of blood I made in the second floor. It was sickening to watch for myself, and I carelessly tried to calm him down when I noticed my hands were covered in blood, making him scream and back off from me. Worse yet, he got blood on his face sometime when I was not myself. So how the fuck did they not get discovered? I mean, unless the thief was acting completely alone, had no relatives whatsoever, you know, no friends, literally nobody who knew he existed. I'm sure there would be a few people asking where he'd gone, you know? That's a bit of a problem. Maybe I have to read the Bond of Aura to find the passage where Lucario buries the thief's remains or dumps him in the river or something. And I carelessly tried to calm him down when I noticed my hands were covered in blood, making him scream and back off from me. Worse yet, he got blood on his face sometime when I was not myself. Oh, are you sure you weren't yourself? It's because it sounds to me like you most certainly were yourself. This is you. I think this is as true to Lucario's nature as we're going to ever see. Paula covered her mouth. My God, she muttered. He hung his head down in shame. He was leaning to the wall and embracing himself. Why does he keep using that term, embracing himself? Oh, okay, I guess if he's clutching his hands to his chest or whatever. I tried to budge him from there after I cleaned my hands from blood and tossed the limbs away from the house. But he wouldn't listen. He was in utter shock for the whole night until he somehow fell asleep right there, standing up. I didn't leave his side and brought him to his bed to rest, waiting for his recovery. Dude, seriously now? Ness asked, looking almost as horrified as his teammates. You tore limbs off. It's not a memory I'm so proud of. Did he come to his senses the next day? Chuff asked, looking over at the helpless boy. It took him days to recover from the shock of it all, Lucario explained. It was a nightmare to see him so emotionless. Not to mention, I had to take care of him and convince him to eat food I made during those days of his recovery until he came to his senses down the road. This had a happy ending somewhat. You sure about that? This is fucking depressing. I didn't expect it. He forced a small smile. When he came around, he cried to me and thanked me for saving his life, and that's when he revealed he was scared of dying alone. Okay. He was scared of dying alone, with none of his parents knowing about it. He also fears to see so much blood himself, so that is why his recovery took even more time. Paula tilted her head. His parents aren't around? She asked. His parents travel abroad helping businesses, from what he told me, Lucario said. He never told this to them in fear of what they say, but that is in the past, he muttered, looking over at his trainer. I don't wish to ever repeat that again. It's too much for me to see him so frightened. Ness uncovered the boy's ears and walked to his field of vision. Chris? He said. Chris, it's okay. You don't have to shake. I'm not so good at this, so just get better, okay? Yeah, it's really, really sensitive, really tender words, Ness. You're wonderful at this. Don't be so harsh on yourself. You'd make an excellent therapist. Oh boy, I. Chris stuttered, gulping some air. I'll try. Lucario gasped and went to his side. Chris, are you recovering? He asked. Please tell me so. Chris slowly looked up at his Pokemon. Yes, I'm recovering, he breathed out, worrying Lucario. I can keep walking. What's the betting? He's totally fine, half a chapter later. Oh, what a relief, Paula sighed with the others. Perhaps the scene before was less gruesome to watch than... I should better not continue, she rectified herself. Lucario placed a hand on Chris's relatively small shoulder. Chris! Sorry, Chris! I'm so sorry, very sorry for what happened earlier. I shouldn't have gone too far to keep you safe. All I wanted was to save you from danger. Yeah, whatever you say, Lucario, you fucking